the medical field, there's a term called debrief or debriefing, and it's basically describing like this little powwow get together that happens with all of like the healthcare staff after like a resuscitation, meeting a patient codes, or some kind of really intense stabilization of a really sick patient. And so, you know, you see in TV or movies, everybody's kind of running around doing CPR, and in the ER, and there's, you know, someone doing CPR, someone breathing for the patient, there's always someone yelling, of course, you know, just to cause chaos going on. Well, that happens in real life, but after that, all of the chaos in real life, and all of the people that were involved, the doctors and nurses, the respiratory therapists, you get together and you talk about what went well, what didn't go well, what you can do better next time. And it's supposed to be like a really good learning opportunity, and you grow in communication and teamwork and blah, 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 all the good stuff. But to be honest, in really busy ERs, like where I work as a nurse, a lot of times we straight up just don't do debriefs because we're too busy. You know, you're coding a patient for an hour, and all of the other patients that you had, like, they didn't disappear, they're still there. And they're wondering, where the heck is my nurse? Where the heck is that pain medicine that I wanted? And so as soon as, you know, the code concludes, everybody just kind of like disperses to get back to their like giant list of to-dos, because there's still plenty of people waiting for rooms in the ER. But I'm going to tell you about a time where we actually did debrief. I was working in the trauma area of our ER that day, and we got a call that an EMS crew was coming in and bringing in a 16-year-old girl who had tried to end her own life. She was very critical condition, vital signs unstable, had lost a lot of blood. So they brought her in, and we worked hard for hour 15 minutes, hour 20 minutes to stabilize her. We intubated quickly, we were pumping her with blood and medication to keep her blood pressure high enough to perfuse her vital organs, to bring oxygen to her kidneys and her liver. And we did. We stabilized her to the point where we could transfer her to the ICU. But we knew the prognosis, and to be totally blunt, the next day she became an instant organ donor. But back to that day, we took her up to the ICU. We get back to the trauma bay, and we just kind of like stumble out. Like, we're take off our gowns, our face shields, the lead aprons that protect us from the radiation of the x-rays in the room, and walking back to the charge, or to the nurse's station, and there's like blood on my shoes, and it's making me really sticky. And I have this really vivid image where I'm like at the nurse's station wiping, you know, blood off my shoes, and my charge nurse comes out and she says, "Hey, we're gonna debrief outside in the ambulance bay. 10 minutes. See you there." And I say, "Okay, I'll be there." But in my head, I'm like, that's not gonna happen. It was a crazy busy day. Like, no one was in the trauma bay anymore. All the doctors were back at their computers with their other patients. You know, they don't stop bringing in patients when you're busy with somebody. And so I get back to the computer, I start going back to my other patients, and really, truly, almost miraculously, 10 minutes later, I find myself having this pause and flow where it's like there's nothing super urgent I had to do in that moment. And my coworker Danielle was another nurse who was with me in that trauma case, and she comes back to the computer, like to the nurse's station as well, and she's like, "You want to go?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, like let's go debrief." And so we walk outside to the ambulance bay, and it's like Texas summer heat just blares on you, and there's ambulances kind of rumbling by, going in and out. And I'm shocked to see that Daniela, my coworker, and I were the last two to be out there. Everyone else that was in that trauma was already out there. They were already standing in a circle, waiting for us to show up, the last two teammates. And like, to be totally honest, like, we didn't have a whole lot to say about like what went wrong, what didn't go well. Like, we were all pretty experienced, and we did a good job. Like, we knew our roles, and like we executed well. we did what we were supposed to do. But on our way out there, we had to walk down this one hallway. It's the only way to get out there. And every single one of us walked out that way, and we all had to walk around the family of that girl who was talking to the ICU doctor. Sorry. And that's why we knew that this debrief was important. And so we stood in a circle outside for maybe 4 or 5 minutes because that's all we could do. But this circle kind of mirrored their own. And we stood kind of gathered around this thing that had just happened that we didn't have words for, that we just had a taste of the tragedy of what just happened. But we just stood there and we gathered around it and let it be in our midst, and we acknowledged it and we respected it and we did it together. And after a few minutes, we turned around together as a group and we went back inside and we kept working the rest of our shift. And I was so glad that out of all the times we don't debrief, that time we did. Thank you.